Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Unhinged Bookish Thoughts with Liz and Carrie. Today, it's Pride Month. It's a Pride episode. All the gay, all day. We're here for it.
Gay all day.
All year, we love it, but you gotta scream it from the rooftops this month. Yeah, we pretty much read queer books all year round, and especially like prepping for this episode, I think we both were like, oh yeah, it's pretty clear that that's kind of almost what we gravitate towards a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So
At least like one a month, I feel like. Because I don't read a whole lot. I've read more this month than I have in previous months. That tells you the state of mind I'm in. But I'm like, yeah, like every month I at least, if I only read 4 books a month, at least one of those is gay. So like 25% is always queer. And so, and I don't feel like I do it on purpose. Like, I know that everyone talks about diversifying your reading. I think that, and we've had this conversation, I think our community that we get wrecked from and like just the books we kind of gravitate towards are always tend to be more diverse anyways. And so I don't feel like I have to search out queer reads. And I think that's just because I have like, it's just something I enjoy. So those are usually the books that go on my shelf. I mean, I write queer characters, so obviously I like the queer, and I'm going to read it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, any of our group chats that we're in, if we are looking for something, because we're both mood readers too, so that kind of, it's always switching. We can easily drop, hey, I want a spicy give it to me. And we've got 10 people lining up to give us what we want. So
yes. Yeah. And I do love, if I can't find anything like that's really hitting like just right, if I'm like, I have this very specific thing that I'm looking for. I love the Facebook groups that I'm in, and there's a ton of them. So if you are wanting to get into more, like, and it also goes across the board because there's several groups that I'm in that are strictly just any book that you would want to read, you can be in. Like, they can give you recs for. But if I'm specifically looking for like a spicy, like romance, I think we had this conversation the other day where like, you're like, I want a rugby. This is what I want. And I was like, I got you. Hold on. Let me go into these chats and just drop it. And people are like, this book, this book, this book. And I'm like, y'all are just the best. So my favorite, I think, is the Cliterature group, which I think we should change spicy over to Cliterature from now on, because that's a great name.
I love that name.
Yeah. So I think that's how we tend to read a little bit more diverse, is because we have those outlets, right? We have those opportunities that we can go and be like, hey, I am a terrible mood reader. So these are the things that I'm looking for. And we have a collection of people that we can ask. Like, even, the street team chat, the heathens, like, you go, hey, I want this. And people are like, here you go.
Yeah.
I want a noodle romance.
Oh, God.
I got
God. Yeah. No joke, guys. Lately, it's been like odd food-based smut in the heathen chat, and
I think we're going to have to do an episode. We're just have to read all of the like food smut, right? And then we're just gonna have to do an episode on it. Like, okay, this is what we read in a month of food smut.
Yeah.
Oh, I already have Lord. 2 of them at least. I have the noodle one and the people.
God, and I've got corn.
I'm just waiting till the corn gets higher because I want to do the video on it.
Oh my God. We gotta have all of the food group, and then we can do an episode.
There you go.
Oh my God.
It depends on if you are looking for a way to diversify your reading and you want to read more either queer characters, whether it's main characters, side characters, or queer authors. I think there is a plethora of resources out there. And if it's not in your algorithm yet, there are ways that you can get it. You just have to be a little bit more actively like searching for that stuff. But there's a ton. I mean, I also have, I'll put this in, like, I think I'm going to put it in our profile, but I have a big list of recs that has got LGBTQIA, different recs from different genres. It's very simple. I make it very straightforward. I also link the Goodreads to it. So if you want something, I have so far fantasy, fiction, which is like kind of an oddball kind of one. It doesn't fit in like any of them. The good example on that one is The Guncle. And book
Mhm.
2 came out recently as well. Wonderful book, wonderful book. It's about an uncle, a man whose best friend, he has to take custody of her 2 kids. And the grief and the loss that goes through that, it's very impactful. But he is like very much the gay bachelor, like he's living his life, he's a movie star, all this stuff. And then he gets the responsibility of 2 kids, 2 young children. He's like, I've got to figure out how to do this. It is the sweetest story. And there's a second book now, and I'm like, I really want to read it because it's got to be just like really heartfelt, and there's like a lot to it, but that's like a different category, right? Like that's not romance. There's no romance in it. That's not
Right.
fantasy because it's like an actual story. And so it's kind of
Right.
a different one. So that's in there. I also have historical. If you love historical, whether it's like romance or whatever, romance, obviously. And then thriller and mystery, which is something I think Tally and I are going to read a book next week or the following week. That is a sapphic thriller.
Ooh.
And it's about women getting revenge. I'm like,
hell yeah.
I'm like super excited about it. I'm like, I keep hearing really good things about this book because I asked in the book lounge group is wonderful if you're looking for a variety of style of books. It's on Facebook. I think it's a private group now, but it's massive. I stopped looking at how many people are in it, but it's massive. It's a wonderful resource if you're wanting a rec in whatever category. There's a plethora. I think it's thousands of people. I think last time I looked it was 7,000 people. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. So
Yeah.
I had commented in there. I said, I'm looking for thriller, mystery, whatever category, like horror books, because I didn't have a lot yet on my tracker. And I love thrillers. I'm a huge thriller reader. Shocker. I read weird. I don't have a genre that I lean towards. But I wanted more of them. And so I asked in the group and they were like, here's a whole bunch of them. And one that kept coming up it's what was it? What's the title of it? They Never Learn. And I was like, yeah, that one's really good. And I'm like, I can't wait. I can't wait. Women Revenge, Sapphic. It's gonna be beautiful.
Hell yeah. That's what we need.
That's what I need right now. So yeah, you just have to be like a little more active. I think we do it anyways, but I think some people may find it challenging. So they could use this as a way to help expand their queer horizons.
And honestly, you might be reading queer novels and not even like really realizing it. Because, I mean, even the ones that we're reading, the side characters are queer and we don't, then you're just like, oh, hell, look at us. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Because we were just talking about that.
Yeah, we were. Because it's like, you don't think about it sometimes. And I think that is probably a downfall. Like, we're not conscious of it all the time. But I think it just comes naturally to us to kind of like diversify our reading again. But I mean, I was looking at my shelf. We were talking about a post we're going to make. And I was like, okay, what books on my shelf could we use? What books on your shelf? Because I know somewhat of what you have. And I'm like, what could we even use? What do I have? And I was like, oh, that's got queer side characters, that has queer main characters. That I just started going, I was like, oh, well, I've got way more than I was expecting. So yeah, it definitely, but they're also, I love them too, because I feel like, I don't know, I guess as a queer person, I tend to like those books anyways, because I feel more connected to the characters.
Right.
So,
yeah. Well, we kind of we wanted to have a plan for this month. We really wanted to like have a really good list in TBR of queer titles. We are mood readers though, so, and also ARCs got in the way a little bit too, so we did hit some of the titles that we wanted to read. The month is not over yet, so we still have more that we want to try and get under.
I think I've read like 7 books now, and 4 of them have been queer. I specifically picked one ALC because I knew it was queer. And so that didn't end up working out for me, but that's okay.
I only read 1 book that wasn't so far this month. But I also took like almost a week off last week to not do much of anything. But we started, I don't know, did you start the month off with Lifers by Casey Bloom? Is that what we both kind of started with?
I think so, yeah. And you know what? I don't even have that on my list because I've been changed how I'm recording my books because I am terrible at Goodreads. If you follow me on Instagram at all, I made an entire video about making monthly wrap-ups because I don't get on Goodreads. If you
Yeah.
look at my Goodreads a lot of the time, if I read it on my Kindle, which is usually me dual reading, I hit set where it automatically does Mark is currently reading, and there's always a million of them because I'm never in there. So I'm like, oh shit, I don't record anything. So someone had suggested that they don't even get into Goodreads until like afterwards because they keep forgetting too. And they said, I just make a note on my phone. And I was like, why didn't I ever think about doing that? So I've just been keeping like a track on my phone for my June reads, and I don't even have lifers in there.
Well,
So,
get it together.
Yeah,
that was our first one.
That was
I
our
have
first
this reading journal, and I just write down what I'm reading.
See, I did order those Post-its too.
Yeah, those are really nice if you can remember where they are and to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have it on my desk because if you would see my desk is a mess right now. But if you would see my desk, I have Post-its everywhere because I spoiled myself when I redid my office because this is not what it looked like a year ago. And I got myself a really nice desk, so it has like a tiered section to it, and I have an entire like cubby of just Post-its because I am neurospicy and I love stationery. So I'm going to put them at my desk and I'm going to write them down. Did that help? Because I also have this at my desk. I think the problem is that I have to open this versus like a Post-it. But like I started
just having it right there.
This is not. This is but I started the month. I started my month when I was writing them down. I was trying until April
to be,
and then I
I
was just trying not to be the problem.
I think that's what I love about this is that it folds and it stays open.
Mm-hmm.
So I can just leave it anywhere and I'll be like, oh, hey, I should probably write something down.
There's a new one I saw that one more chapter. She's coming to Lindsay. Yes, Lindsay is coming to Villains and Vixens next year. She just made one, and it is a green gold foiled reading journal with 200 pages. It is so cute. I am fighting not buying it. I'm like, I want it. It's really, really nice. And like the pages, it's got book review pages and stuff. They're stunning. So you're gonna have to go look at that now.
I know. I'm like, I'm gonna probably go buy that.
I will send it to you.
Thank you. Don't make me work for it. Just send it to me.
Thanks, Thea, for because she's a rep for Lindsay. I'm working with Lindsay also for some merch stuff, but Thea is a rep for Lindsay for one more chapter. And so she posted like that the pre-orders were going live soon. And I was like, what's this? This is beautiful. As expected, because I've been seeing some of the work that she comes out with. And I'm like, damn, I'm gonna need that. So yes. But we did start out with Lifers, which was not what I was expecting. Agreed?
Yeah. Not necessarily it's not a bad way.
No.
But the author did label it as a dark romance, and the theme was incredibly heavy. You know what I mean? I think for when we were talking back and forth as we read it, because it was a pretty short read.
Yeah, it's really, really short. It's less, 80 pages? 86 pages, maybe?
Yeah.
Super short. It's super short.
It felt, wildly real, because it's a lot of what happens in it, I mean, is something that...
I think it's heavy. It is very heavy.
It is.
I think it's very real, and that is, I commend the author of it. It feels very real. And it felt like I was reading a memoir more than a dark romance, which I think is what made me so uncomfortable about it, because I'm like, why? I'm like, I didn't feel like I'm
diary
intruding.
entries.
Yes, yes, it did. And I'm like, this makes me, like, it hurt my heart for the girls in it. And it takes a lot for me to, like, feel that. And there's one other book, and it has nothing to do with queer, but I related to the characters a little bit differently, and I only think of it because my cousin also read it. It's called Broken Girls by Simone St. James. It's a thriller. It's a paranormal thriller. Simone writes paranormal, but I reacted to the story very different than she did because I was able to connect with the characters in a different way. So it's about a bunch of girls who were mistreated at, like, it's a school for wayward girls, essentially, and these girls have a horrific life. And I was like, I just want to save these girls. Like, I want to save them. And that's what I felt like it's the same vibes. I'm very much a vibe person, and so the same vibes from that, where I connected with the characters, is I connected with those girls in lifers, because I'm like, this is so real feeling. Like, this happens to people. Like,
Yeah.
there's, especially in like institutions, if they're not ran by ethical people, there's a lot of rape, there's a lot of manipulation, there's a lot of things that go on inside of those walls that are horrific and traumatizing. And going into it, I wasn't expecting to feel that way, but I'm like, oh my God, it hurts. Praise to the author for that, because I'm like,
yeah, it very much shows. When I posted my review, it said it shows like the abuse of power in certain like systems, which is very real. And when we were talking and going back and forth, it is a sapphic dark romance.
Yeah.
And so I think when we went into it, well, the reason why it came onto our radars is we both saw fan art and we sent it to each other, and it was very good, incredible, man. And we both were like, game on. Yeah, we're gonna read this. And so when we went into it, I thought dark romance as in like kinky, like dark kinky, not so much
dark themed in general.
The dark, but I will say the author, they do give trigger warnings. So like, it's not that we weren't prepared. It just, you don't know how deep it was gonna get as you were going. And there were spicy scenes, but you and I both were like almost so emotional that we didn't even like really need it.
No. I think the story itself is like, there's just something about the story that makes you go, I'm very invested in this part. Like, and that's, I like when stories get me like that.
Yeah. So where the spicy is like a nice bonus, it was almost like you're so immersed in the pain and what's happening that you're kind of like, I don't know, I'm not quite ready for this spice right now, I'm too emotional, but it was really good. I mean,
it was very
definitely good. One that after we finished it, I was like, I need a second to process all this. So
I think we both sat there like,
I was floating in my chair outside. And I was just going back and forth, and I was like, wow, I'm having a crisis a little bit. But yeah, very good.
And I was sitting in my chair, and I'm just like...
I think our tones and our voice memos were, like, sad, very ominous.
I can actually, like, I was sitting there, like, this in my chair, just, like, what was doing?
It really was, guys. We just, like, sat, and it was, it was like 8 or 9 chapters, guys, and it like took really us out for an entire.
I was like, I don't know what to do with myself, and then I switched gears and I read boyfriend material. It's very different. Yeah, very different.
I should have dived into boyfriend material when you did. Instead, I went over to Crossover by Santana Knox.
Yes.
Which I need you to read it.
I'm going to,
because I think it hits all the points. You've got a neurospicy female main character, sapphic romance, roller derby, super fun. The ending is so dark.
Oh no.
It's like so dark, but also like wildly peaceful. I just remember again sitting there and I was crying silently. And I was like, holy shit. Holy shit. So yeah, please, I don't want to say anything else. I've said enough.
Maybe I can squeeze it in this month. I'm going to try to. Because I think it was Justine read that too, and she said, you need to read it.
Yeah. It is pretty quick too, but the ending packs a punch that you don't see coming. Or at least I didn't. But
boyfriend material is much lighter. It is a fake dating to restore your image kind of thing. But also like longing kind of thing. Like, it's really cute. It is. It's very sweet. I really enjoy the male characters in it because you can tell like they're struggling, especially the one, he's like really struggling with his self and just like understanding his worth. And you've got this like kind of grumpy boyfriend, because they're boyfriends. And he doesn't understand, like, why do you care? He's very I think they're written beautifully because the one male character is a lawyer. He is very much like high level thinking, right? And I have a lot of experience with doctors and I have the same high level experience. Like surgeons, I worked for a surgeon for a long time. Very high level thinking. They don't give a shit about anything underneath them. They're just like, why do you care? Like very straightforward, especially like this lawyer, he's like, why does it matter? Like, why are you getting upset over that? I don't understand. It's like they're polar out. He's like, why does it matter? And the other guy is like very emotional, very in tune with like everything. And it's very sweet. It's very cute.
Yeah.
And falling in love. It's so cute. And I am going to read, I have book 2, which is called Husband Material. It's already in my library, so I'm going to read that.
And
too.
is there a book 3 too?
There's a book 3 coming.
Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't we?
It's like father material. And I was like, I don't even care. Like, this is one of those stories that these characters are so cute. I don't like kids in stories. That sounds so bad.
Totally fair.
As a parent myself, I don't want to read about children. But these characters specifically, I will follow them. I will follow them as they get married. I will follow them as they try to navigate the world as queer men trying to adopt a baby or whatever they end up doing in it. Because I think it's mentioned in boyfriend material that they have friends or they know people who have like navigated the adoption and like had kids that way. Because the one mom is like, now listen, I don't care what you do, but I want grandchildren. And they're like, yeah, whatever. So I'm like, I'm looking forward to them getting through that. And like the parent, the mom especially, they kind of like, they give me hippie vibes, right? I'm like, I just want to see them go through that. Like, they're so cute. There's like, it's one of those like feet kicking, like kind of reads. So
yeah,
I'm very much in like the palate cleanser phase of my reading right now. So they're very sweet. Everything I'm reading is very sweet. So
they're the type of characters you want to watch like their life come full circle. So like we don't like reading about kids in books, but I'm like, yes, I want to see you start a family. I want to see you start a family. Everything that you need. Yeah.
I want to see you step into those roles. I want to see the grumpy lawyer like soften if they have like a little girl, like, or even like a little boy, just him soften a little bit, and then all the like fun activities they can get into. I want and like them navigating their lives because like they have lives, they have jobs, they have all those things, and I think it's done very like, even though it is like romance, it's done in a very like, obviously no one's really having fake dating happening. I feel for the one main male character because he's like, his life is just going to shit. Like, I just keep messing up. Like, I just should just crawl into a hole and just disappear because like he's gone through a lot, and it's like, I just felt for him. And then he like wanted to get his life. He's like, I am trying to save the dung beetles because he works for a charity that saves dung beetles. Okay. It's hilarious.
Oh my god.
I'm like, I want to see what happens with these. I think there's going to be more, so I'm ready to read book 2. I just need to get to it.
Yeah. It's one that gives me that vibe, is Red, White, and Royal Blue.
Same vibes. I haven't read that one, same vibes. Exact same vibes.
It's so cute. It's so cute. I could run to that book anytime I'm feeling down, and it just like, I'm like, this is what I needed. It's like a blanket, you know? It just, you can put it on.
I remember one time I went to take Little to the specialty appointment at the big hospital, and we went into the stall, came out, and I remember a person was walking into the stall after us, and they had a book in their hand, and it was boyfriend material. And I remember I wanted so badly to say, hey, do you like that book? And now that I've read it, I'm like, I should have said something because I would have read this book a long time ago. Because I've been like, hey, I heard that's should have just done it. Should have done it, but it's fine. It's fine.
When you're okay, this is kind of a weird side, but when you're ever out at the store shopping, do you ever go in the book section and see people there? And do you ever like look at all the books and go, hey, this is a good one, this is a good one, this is a... Do you ever do that?
Especially if I'm at like Barnes and Noble and someone's like reading a book that I really like, I'm like, or like they're like looking at them and they're like holding it, they're like, and I'm like,
no, I will like insert myself where it's not needed, and I will be like, hey, these are so good, and they'll be like, great, thank you, and I'll be like, can I go into detail about how they are? Like, will you stand here for a second?
can I?
And, yeah, because we do not like talking to people.
I know, but
there's something about book aisles that get me, you know.
Let me put an asterisk on that. I will talk to you about books if it's not about my book.
Yeah,
If we're in
Jesus.
public,
If it's not
don't
about
talk.
you.
I will talk to you about any other book. But if you try to approach me and talk to me about my book, yeah, I'm not gonna. I'll be like, what's your book about? That is a very good question.
Shameless plug. Alyssa's book In the Shadows, which is out now, has queer, diverse
also
characters
queer.
as well.
Hold on. I have it right here.
So
it's very pretty.
there it is. Oh, look at that.
It's over there. It's very pretty. You should.
You bet your fucking ass I kept that PR box, by the way. She is
mine's
never
over there.
getting thrown out. Yeah.
It is a bisexual male or bisexual main female character, and then you have side queer characters. There's a gay chef in this. There's also one of the princesses. I don't know if anybody picked this up, but one of the princesses, Violet, she's queer. She's only likes girls.
Yeah. Love to see it.
I mean,
loved it.
There's 3 princesses, right? There's technically Lily. She's not a princess, but Lily, Juniper, and Violet.
Junie.
Only one of them is straight. So this one is about the bi character, and she is hot as fuck. Okay, she's hot. She's hot.
Yeah.
At least
also, PSA, you can be bisexual and have a partner of the opposite sex. We're just throwing that out there. I've seen a lot of Discord on it.
Yeah.
Especially recently on Threads. But, okay, everybody be nice to each other. God damn it.
Don't be a dick.
Be nice.
What? There was a sticker the other day that we saw that I had mentioned it to you. It said something about you can still be bi if you married a man or something. And I was like, yeah, is that a question? Was that a question? I'm like,
yep.
It was funnier than that, but I was like, wait, what? People, is this an argument that people are having? If it is, I am ready to fight, okay?
Yeah, it really is, though. It is very much. But honestly, I will say, like, in the most recent years, I feel like people are more willing to, like, stand up for bisexual people, though. You know what I mean? Because it used to be, like, people would make jokes all the time, but...
Yes. No, not so much. Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Oh.
What other book have I read this month? I read, Late Bloomers.
Late Bloomers.
Late Bloomer was really good.
Yeah.
That was really good.
It was supposed to start that, but then I just, went down.
Here, let me sell you on it really quick. Okay, Late Bloomer is about 2 women. It's like a grumpy sunshine, okay? You're going to want to read this. It's also, the audiobook is fantastic. One of the females is the sunshine. She is kind of down on her luck, and then she plays the lottery and she wins. So she decides that, you know what? I'm going to do something for me on it. I just feel like I'm stuck. And then she stumbles upon Facebook and on the marketplace, or Craigslist, whichever one it was. And there's this beautiful flower farm for sale. So she, on a whim, goes, you know what? She's an artist. She makes like designs, clothing, like specifically shoes. She loves making shoes, like beautiful design shoes. She's like, you know what? I'm going to do it. So she buys a flower farm. Only to come find out that the person who sold it to her really didn't have the legal rights to sell it to her. And somebody was also already living on the farm. So then she goes, runs into the grumpy character, granddaughter of the person who passed away, which is why the farm was for sale. It's this gorgeous flower farm, and they have to, like, become roommates. They were roommates because...
They were roommates.
Because the sunshine character is so sweet. And so the grumpy one's, like, losing it. She's also neurospicy, which I love. She's done very, very well. The anxiety that comes with her, like, character, written perfectly. But she's like, okay, now I'm homeless. I'm homeless. Like, this lady sold, like, I lost my home, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, hold on, you can stay. Like, there's space. Like, there's rooms. We can figure this out. Just, It's okay. Like, we'll just live together. We'll figure this out. Like, until we can, like, we'll just figure it out. Okay. And then, of course, they fall for each other. And it is so sweet. It is very much the cutest thing. It is, if you're looking for something that's not like just hurt your teeth sweet, don't read this. Like, it is so adorable. Like, they work together to be in this competition, and like all the trials that go along with like yourself. The Sunshine character is bi, and the other grumpy-ish character, I can't remember their names right now, is like more, she doesn't have experience, but she like knows she likes girls. And then she's like, no, I like this girl. This one.
So almost like a bi awakening, or that sort of thing for her, a little bit.
It's a lot like self-discovery and like coming into your own. And it is spicy. It is spicy. I was not expecting that as much as it was. Like, this cartoon, these cartoon covers, they keep getting me. I'm like,
they get you, man. They get you so bad.
It's so cute. It's adorable. And it's really funny because, like, you can, the kind of the crisis the one character is going through, like, personally, and it's got a lot of grief with it. And it's very beautiful. And it's, like, so funny all at the same time. So I highly, highly recommend it.
You went for very, like, soft, cuddly, cute.
This month is very much like, again, it's the mindset that I'm in. I need the sweet palate cleansers.
Mine was, let's make you cry almost every time you read. Like, let's make it so you're so not getting out of this book funk.
Yeah.
That's... No. I forgot to read Not Truly Yours, which is by the same author that wrote Not So Kind Regards.
Oh, yeah. You read that? You continued that series?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. TikTok made me do it, and I did. I liked this one. I liked this one way more. I highly recommend. It's a fun, playful thing, and also, now that I know what I'm getting into, I'm like, okay, be prepared for some form of something that's, like, gonna kind of blow your mind a little bit. And also, if we can read corn and noodle smut, we can definitely enjoy Omegaverse. You know what I mean? Yeah, that one was cute. Recommend that one.
Yeah, Cleo Evans. I think I'm just gonna dive deep into her like list of books because one, I saw that Not Safe for Work fan art on her Etsy last night, and I was like, smash.
Yeah, then she messages me and she goes, "This Not Safe for Work art that I saw is got me," and I'm like, great. Waiting for the picture and it never came.
I think you never like 2 a.m.
I was ready to wake up to a photo. I did not get one.
It's very good. It's all of them for that series that you sent it back to me. All of them are on her Etsy.
So good. Yeah,
they're phenomenal. But yes, yeah.
I did wake you up with some Not Safe for Work art.
Yes.
So you're welcome.
Yes. I read last night that, because apparently both are reading Cleo this month, who is also going to Villains and Vixens. Small plug for Dallas. And I can't wait. I think I kind of want to buy all her books and have her sign them. But I read Cosmic Kiss last night because it is Awareness Month or Audiobook Month, like appreciation. So there's a huge Audible sale that's been going on, and I bought them all. I bought way too many books. No, because I read a lot, and so...
You do.
I read a lot, mainly at work now, because I try to write at night, and so I do a lot of audiobooks, because I'm also... I have a book I'm supposed to be writing. No, you know... I'm supposed to be doing that. But I read Cosmic Kiss, which was one that I've been wanting to read, but it was on sale for the audiobook one. And it is about a burlesque human on a spaceship who finds two male aliens that are actually her mates, and there is some history between the two men. It is a fast burn. I love that Cleo puts that. It's a fast burn. Don't think it's like, there's no slowness to this. It's a 200-page book with tons of space in it. It's not going to be a slow burn, people. They're banging instantly, okay? It's really good. I discovered something
halfway
about
through.
myself. It's so cute.
Yeah.
I hate how cute it is. I hate how cute it is. I did discover about myself that I love when creatures, whether it's demons, aliens, whatever, I love when they have very minimal understanding of humans. I don't know why. A Soul to Keep, I love that they have no idea what humans are. It's the funniest thing to me. I love it. I love it.
Like Ice Planet Barbarians, they just
Ice
know,
Planet
like, oh my god, I'm obsessed with this thing, and I love it, and I'm going to keep it safe.
I'm going to keep this.
Yeah. Also,
This is mine.
obsession. That's our thing we noticed this week too, is we love a male main character that's obsessed.
Mhm.
Or a female main
So
character
cute.
that's obsessed.
That's obsessed.
We die for
It's
it.
so cute. Yes. It's a very short read. I think the audiobook I listened at a faster than 1.0 rate. So I think it was like 3 hours or something. So
Mhm.
very quick, adorable, very spicy. Very spicy. Read the very
Yeah.
first trigger warning because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Specifically, this is one of the messages I sent to Carrie. It was just a picture of the book, and it said Cox with an S,
Yeah.
and I just circled it. That was my. You should go read this.
My response was just Cox in big letters on my way. Literally, that's all we also say is just smash.
Smash.
You know,
Smash.
it's the universal love language of us. But
Smash.
I'm looking at my Kindle now because I feel I have a lot that I want to finish this month.
Oh yeah.
One of
I got a
them
ton.
being I want to finish Silver Under Night.
Oh, yeah. I want to read that. I don't think I'll get that.
Yeah, it's like you vampire. If you've ever seen Castlevania, it's got those vibes. Queer. I'm fucking ready for it. I ate up Castlevania, so I'm very excited for that one. I also have Rookie Recovery and Top Secret. I have those ones too. Those are both male. So I've got those.
I think I don't have anything, I think, on my Kindle right now to read besides the thriller one. Also this month I read as an ALC, so an advanced listener copy. If you're an audiobook reader, and I do say reader, if you want to have a fight about it, fight me. I will. It's one of my things. I will fight you.
Yes.
I will make you feel bad about yourself.
I will point her in the direction and she will go off.
I will go off on you. And I can go on a tangent another time about that. And I probably will because it is audiobook month and I do plan on making a video about it. But there is I don't even know where I was going with this now, I gotta think. Hold on.
So
ALC. Yes, there we go. ALCs are arcs for audiobooks. And so I didn't realize a lot of people didn't know this is something that happens. So if you are, I am with Macmillan Audio right now. I am one of their influencers for their ALCs. And so I get 4 a month that I get to read. And so this month I received Everyone I've Kissed Since You Got Famous. That was one of the ALCs I listened to or read. So that was okay. It was good. I think I was expecting more, but it's very cute. So if you're looking for a friends, like high school sweetheart kind of thing, like 2 girls that were friends in high school that very much had feelings for each other, but never acted on it, and then get the opportunity later on in life to act on those feelings and finally confess how they actually feel. That's for you. But also like navigating, like they're both famous. And so having to navigate that. My biggest issue is I didn't really understand why the one girl had a YouTube channel about kissing people. I was like,
this is a lot of saliva. You know what I mean?
It was sure it was hot, but like it was also really unnecessary.
Would that get demonetized though?
I have no idea. I was just like, I understand why they did it, but it was like, I don't know. It just felt like a weird story.
Yeah.
I was like, also, like, she obviously they get in a relationship. Of course, it's a romance. It's got a happy ending to it. And so it's like, does she just like stop? Or does it like change after that? Because she didn't go into detail. Like, so does she like shift it where she's now like filming people kissing each other? I don't know. We'll see. So I do have husband material in my queue for Hoopla, which is a library app. I'm showing Carrie how to read via library books, which is another episode we'll be doing later on. But I have husband material. There's another one I want to read that is another sweet one. Hold on. I think it's called Delilah Green Doesn't Care, but I lost it on my list. Hold on. I think that's what it's called, though. Delilah Green Doesn't Care. It's supposed to be really, really cute. And so I want to read that one. Obviously, I'm reading more like light books. And so I think next month I will try to read the Silver Under Nightfall My brain's just not there. I'm having a hard time with any type of world building.
I also feel like it'd be really fun to do. I followed a couple people that are doing like a vampire month. I feel like it'd be really fun for us to do like a vampire month like in the fall. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yes. Yes. That would be a lot
Super
of fun.
fun.
Love that. Put that on the list. Love
Right?
it. Another one that I keep seeing that's more of the spicy realm is Vengeful Gods. That is a Why Choose queer book. And so that one I have heard fantastic things about. It's dark, it's spicy. So I do want to read that one.
I want that. I think that's give me to me, Rachel. I keep fucking saying that.
That's the video I did with Justine and Ree for the Why Choose Rex. It's the book cover that's got the boobs on it. And we decided, because there's like two different covers. There's like a discreet cover and then there's like the main cover. And I was like, are we using the boob ones? We all went, boobs. Boobs, give me the boobs. And so that's that one. It's supposed to be really good though. And so I do plan on reading that one.
I am gonna continue with the Santana Knox theme. She's got another sapphic romance coming out, False Start, in July. So maybe once you read Crossed Over, we can read that in July.
That sounds good. You know.
Please. I also wrote it down as Falsa Start, like salsa start. So, Jesus fucking
that works really well. I'll switch gears and do like cozy romances, queer romances. So I have a stack actually, and I'm going to go over them real quick because I have oddly enough books. This one is on my TBR. Can't Spell Treason without T. I mean, this edition's beautiful and it has fan art on the inside. Beautiful. This one, I follow Rebecca on TikTok and she's fantastic. She doesn't gatekeep publishing. And so I started following her for that because she was able to sell this and like this is hugely popular right now. It's a sapphic tea bookshop. Okay. Adorable. But I started following her because of like just her transparency about getting picked up traditionally, all of the stuff and like how her like writing experience has been. And then I saw this book and I was like, sold, buying that. Next up, and this is another fantastic queer author, TJ Klune. If you have not read The House on the Cerulean Sea, think X-Men queer mixed with, I'm not going to remember the book, but it reminds me of X-Men. And I know that's not going to make any sense to a lot of people, but it's a orphanage for kids with like special powers and a grumpy like guy who takes care of them and the like best way to put it CPS worker that has to come and check on them and they fall in love.
She also goes more in depth in our top reads of 2023. You really give that one a lot of love. This
has a sequel coming out this year soon and I'm ecstatic about this. If you want to, I didn't even read the cover of it until after I got done reading. It said, I loved it. It's like being wrapped in a big gay blanket. Yeah, that's what. It's cute. And then his other book, I didn't finish this one just because when I was reading it, it's a very heavy book. Under the Whispering Door is about death and loss. I started reading this when my dog died. And so I had to put it down. I had to step away. Yeah. Had to step away from it. But what I read it's really good. It's about crossing over, stuff like that. So it is heavier. So go into it knowing that. And then Travis Baldree. You've got Legends and Lattes, and then you have Bookshops and Bone Dust. Both are fantastic. I always describe these as a side quest. Yeah. Like if you're playing Dungeons and Dragons and you went on a side quest, I don't even play Dungeons and Dragons, but if I went on a side quest, or like playing a video game. And you went on a side quest. I love those because I felt like I am a character in Dungeons and Dragons. It's so cute and it's so fun. And you open a tea shop and you make delicious cinnamon rolls. Like if you're wanting something super cozy and queer, I will never stop recommending. People are like, what's one book that you tell people will get you out of a reading slump? Legends and Lattes. Yeah. Legends and Lattes. Just read it. Do it. Or House on the Cerulean Sea. Those both will just make you feel good. I love them. They're so much fun. moving on, do you want to do fantasy? Do you have any fantasy recs? Besides mine, of course.
Yours.
I have one I'll mention while you do that, but it's going to be YA and it's going to be horror. It is a YA fantasy horror, okay? The Spirit Bears Its Teeth. This one by Andrew Joseph White. They are one of my new favorite YA authors. This is specifically a YA horror. I will preface it with make sure you take this with a heat of warning. I describe this as a bathtub abortion. Watch yourself.
You told me about that one. Yep.
It's so good. It is a medical horror. So you are warned. I do love, this is not my favorite. This is my second. I've read 2 of his books. This is number 2. I do plan on reading his 3rd one coming out this fall. Hell Followed With Us. Oh my gosh. It is so good. I will not stop raving about it. It is so good. I absolutely love that book. It is another YA fantasy horror. And I say it with a warning because there is someone getting a headshot in brain matter very early. But both of these are about transgender children.
I was going to ask if you were going to talk about those. Yeah.
Yes. And I love them. They're so good. They're very slight romance, but it's YA, so you're not going to get it much. It's like sweetness kind of romance. Phenomenal. Love them.
Okay. Have you read A Broken Blade by Melissa Blair?
No, but I have it. Actually, I have. Hold on. It is queer. It has queer side characters, from my understanding.
Yes, I have it. I just don't know where it is. And that's so upsetting.
From my understanding, queer side characters. Right I have the physical book, and I also have the audiobook in one of my platforms. So, that I got it at a discount. So, I'm going to be reading this one too.
I did have that one wrote down. She's over there. But
Priority of the Orange Tree.
Yep. It's also
That's
Priory.
Priory. Is it Priory? No. Priory of the Orange Tree. That's on there.
Divine Rivals.
Divine Rivals does have queer side characters. Spark of the Everflame, the entire Kindred's Curse saga, also has queer side characters.
Correct. You also have the Book of Azrael. There's a queer character.
This is still fantasy, but it's spicy fantasy. Katie Roberts. Is it Katie Roberts, right?
Yeah, Katie Roberts. Yes.
Katie Roberts. Wicked Beauty with because her entire Dark Olympic series is a Greek mythology retelling. Wicked Beauty is a polyamorous relationship that includes Achilles and Patroclus. I think that's how you pronounce Patroclus. Yeah, I can never pronounce that guy's name. Even Greek mythology, I think I cannot. It's the same one as Neon Gods, which is Hades and Persephone. So that one, read that entire series. Don't go into it thinking that it has like a ton of plot. It is mainly the spice. Okay, it's mainly the spice.
What were the 3 books I'm using for our video? Priory, Divine Rivals, and then
Broken Blade.
No, I did Broken Blade.
And then I have Honey Witch, which is behind me, which is right here. This gorgeous edition of Honey Witch, which is sapphic. And then what other one did we do? I can't remember what other one, but Honey Witch. No,
because you did Honey Witch. Did you do It's? Because I think I'm Broken Blade.
It's this one. Feybound. That was the other one. Feybound. This is also sapphic. Feybound is also sapphic.
I would say also,
if we're gonna do vampires, I'll save this for. This is a dark book, but I'll save that for the fall.
We should do that. Also, A Flame Under the Moon.
Yes.
That has a queer character. She's right here.
I don't have Monica's book yet.
Monica will also be at Villains and Vixens. We love Monica. Yeah.
I was just talking to her this week, actually. We were talking book covers. I talked to her I like talking to Monica. She's fantastic. If you don't follow Monica on Instagram, follow her.
Follow her.
She's fantastic.
She's an incredibly positive person.
She's
I love her energy.
She's so sweet.
And again, she'll have that Excel sheet that she's got. We've got a ton of titles on there. We're just kind of scrambling to be like, look at these right now. But
yeah. There's also A Ruin of Roses. This is another very popular one that I see suggested for queer reads. I haven't read it yet, but it is supposed to be really, really good. And so that is also on my list. Yes. Also, the covers are gorgeous. Have you read that one? Is it good? See, you have more queers than you think you are.
I do. I know. I've got all of them. I've got all of them back there. Yeah.
I know something we haven't mentioned. I have a bug in my office. That we both want to read that we haven't got to. House of Crimson Hearts by Ruby Rowe. That is one we keep seeing. That it's a sapphic, like, isn't it vampire?
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I can't remember if it's, or is it just sapphic? It's very spicy. So that is on our list to read.
Yes.
If you're also, I have a post that I've been trying to do every week, post recommendations this month for Pride Recs. So those will stay up. They say they're mostly reels. They say Pride Rec on the reel cover. So if you want specific ones, they are on my page. Also, again, I will link the big list of recs, and I have a link to actually submit more. If you're an author and you want to submit your book for the, please just let me know and I'll get it to you. Another one. And the title changed. It used to be Cupid's Contract, and she actually changed it to match the rest of the series. So it's now called Hearts and Arrows because she redid the first one. And that series, it's called the Holiday series. I think, the first 3 of it. So it's Hearts and Arrows, but I have the original. And then Bunnies and Bow Ties and Rainbows and Unicorns, I think. I can't read it from over here. So it's some of that. But it is a reverse harem because they're all together series. So it is very spicy. There's voyeurism in it. There's a voyeurism room. Okay? Listen. Book 1, there's a room. And the other men, I think there's 3 of them, they watch while the dom takes her on the bed.
I'm sat.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
And I would like that. I'd like that
and
right
then
now.
they play hide and go seek too. And if they find her, you know what happens. So.
All right. Okay. Getting that one.
It does
writing that down.
I finished it with Bunnies and Bow Ties, and they're all like holiday themed. So Hearts and Arrows is Valentine's Day. Okay, it starts out and she talks about her giant wall of dildos. Okay, I don't know why that makes me laugh.
You brought this one up, yes.
It's what caught me with Danny's books, okay? Venom and Lace, like the first thing that happens in this book is her suitcase breaks open and her dildos go everywhere because she is a sex toy creator and like business owner. I was like, sold. I was sold at that moment of time. And then when in Hearts and Arrows, she's talking about her wall of dildos, like some kind of shrine, and it's got a plethora of monster dick on it. I was like, sold. I don't know why.
We want the toys, man. We want the toys.
Sold. Doing it. Let's read this shit. So that series is good too. I have not read it yet. Plucking Around is very popular by Emily Roth. It's just too long for me. I hate to say that right now. I can't handle an 800 plus page book. So
I read it.
You read that book? It's 800
I read it. No, I'm not kidding. But okay, I follow Emily on TikTok and I eat it up. Awesome. Her marketing on TikTok, I'm like,
she's fantastic.
Yes.
She's fantastic. Yeah. I wish I could market like her. I don't remember this, but someone said that the Starling House has queer side characters. I wasn't 100%. Like, that was probably a 3 read for me. And that's going to upset a lot of people. But it got kind of boring after a while. So, but they say that there is a queer character in there. I don't think I have any more on this list that I have specifically right now that I'm going to read.
Right.
No. But there's a ton. I mean, I can't remember.
There's a ton.
I feel like I read more. Hold on a second. Let me go back into my list here. Let me go into this. Late bloomer rom-commers. No,
I also follow. I think it's Juliet Fox. I think is her name. Does that sound right?
I have no idea.
Juliet Fox.
I don't remember names.
She has a lot of really good recommendations. I love watching hers. And she posts them all year round. But she's made a lot of good ones. So
I mean,
I'll send you her page.
And I think it just depends on what you read. And that is, I think, where it is in certain genres, it is going to be harder to find queer reads than others. I feel like fantasy is a little bit easier, and that's probably why we have an easier time getting those queer reads in for the diversity reading. But like thrillers, like I said, I struggled to to find thriller recs because it's not something that's it's not popular, I guess. Romantasy is huge right now, is what, at least, I mean, I write in the genre, I read in the genre, so it's really what is my algorithm, but it's very popular. Fourth Wing, yeah, I just rolled my eyes at that, you know it. I will do my TED Talk later on it, but it is very much has brought romantasy kind of in SJM, it's all like amped it up, right? And so I think for that genre, it's easier. So if you're reading fantasy and romance, romantasy, whatever, it's easier to find. Even like, I haven't read Brandon Sanderson yet, but he even has queer characters from my understanding. So that even like shows you like across fantasy, it's not that difficult to find queer recs. Other places, it's a little bit harder. Romance, like, I consider, when I say romance, I think of it as modern day kind of thing. Does that make sense? So like real world people just in a book setting. If it's basic romance, I think that's a little bit easier too. There's a lot of like MMFF romances that you can find. But like the other genres, if you're looking for historical, a little bit harder. There's a few coming out recently that there's a Bridgerton, I think it's what it is. No, Pride and Prejudice and romance that either just came out or is coming out that is supposed to be really good. So I might have to pick that one up. I'm not a historical romance person, but I heard that one's going to be really good. I can remember what it is.
The good news is like a lot of people in the community read diverse, and so you just have to ask someone and you'll find it. Yeah, especially like if when we make these posts, the comments on this post is going to be full of people that read very broadly, so don't be scared. Just, depending on spice level 2, we'll be able to find you something that's within. Even though a lot of the ones that we've mentioned are a little bit like more on the heavy spice side, we will find you something that.
I mean, I read everything, so I mean, 100% slide into Carrie's DMs, my DMs, our podcast page DMs, any of them. And if we don't have an immediate rec for you, we will find one, because
we'll find
like
one.
That's like the point, right? Like if you are wanting to be more conscious about your reading and diversify it, you just need, it's scary. Trust me. It's scary to like slide into someone's DMs and be like, hey, could you help me? But this is a safe space. We also have our people our community that we've built over the last, like, whatever year we've been here, year and a half, is also a safe space. So like we've built it that way. We want people to be able to come into our community and feel safe and accepted regardless of their sexual preferences, how they identify, what they read, how they read it. This is entirely a safe space. And I'm kind of mean. Like if we're going to have like the mama bear, that's me. I will rip your face off. These are my people. I will hurt you. I'm very nice until you cross the line. And so once you come into my community, you're safe. You're here. You're loved. We will give you all the gay recs you want. If you don't want gay recs, I'm sure I have plenty of them that I can recommend to you. Just ask. It's safe here. And if you slide into someone's DM and they're mean to you, block them.
No time or space for that negative stuff. You know what I mean? It's exhausting, and we've seen a lot of negativity lately, and it's not supposed to be that way. So there it is again. Protect your peace. Say it with me now.
Protect your peace.
Protect your peace.
Yes, we're protecting our peace. Protecting our people's peace. Don't, if you have someone being mean to you, just block them. Look, I'm in that mood right now. I'm like, if you're going to be mean and a dick, just go away.
Right.
Go away.
Straight up. Yeah. There's enough space for everybody here. It's not that serious. It shouldn't be that serious. Sometimes it feels incredibly serious, but we all run to this community for like a safe place and to get away from life when it gets heavy. So when your safe place doesn't feel very safe, then everything kind of feels fucked. So
it's we've had a lot of conversations about it, and I think maybe doing an episode on just like drama maybe next month or something. There's just a lot going on within the book community right now, and it is getting very, very heavy and negative so fast. I think in the last month we have seen a huge downturn in it, and it's just like, I don't want that. It's depressing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm already depressed. I don't need to be more depressed.
I think there are a lot of like serious topics that need to be talked about. I think it's just sometimes we see it like destructively and toxic, and that's been really hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's rough.
It's rough, guys, but yeah.
We're here for the fun. We're here for the queer. We're here for the good time. And I think it's definitely, I think that's why I've been focusing mainly on like softer, kind of like fun reads. Like Cosmic Kiss last night. I read that outside like half of it. I read it outside on my daybed. Because I have a new daybed at my pool. And I say pool, it's a stock tank pool. Don't think I'm like rich or anything like that and have like this giant pool in my backyard. I have a like 10-foot, I think, stock tank pool. It is a cattle feed water thing that is a pool. Okay, it is really nice. It's so nice.
It looks amazing.
I love it. It's
guys,
so much fun.
Her umbrella has lights on it too.
It's on Amazon.
It's like, holy shit.
It's so nice, and it has a little switch. You turn on and off for the light. It's great. And then I just sit on my daybed, and I had my little blankie because it was under 70 degrees, so I was cold. Your girl can't handle anything under 75. I'm cold. As I have a thyroid condition, so if you ever wanted to know why I'm always cold, I have a thyroid. I can't tolerate temperature. Can't do it. So I was in my little blankie. I had mosquitoes, like the citronella. Is that what it's called? The little mosquito candles?
Yeah.
I had those around me, and I was on my little bed in my blankie. My umbrella light up. Read
your little gay book.
Read my little gay book. My little MMF romance about aliens. Listen. And the worst part was I was reading it outside in my daybed. Okay? We live in town. And I was cackling. And my spouse is outside. I'm just like, they talk about Galactic Girls, which is a book or a movie or show. And it's Gilmore Girl. And I was laughing so hard. And I swear to God, I don't know how far you are into it, but the one thing they describe is Ice Planet Barbarians, I swear. Because they're like talking about girls landing on a planet, aliens being upset. I was like, Ice Planet Barbarians? You're referencing Gilmore Girls and Ice Planet Barbarians in the same book. I am laughing hysterically outside, like some weirdo that's lost their mind. And like taking my headphones and I tell my spouse, and I was just like, okay. And I'm like, I don't even care. Like, we have new neighbors, so I probably should care, but I don't. I think it was funny. I was just.
So the same. I read Corn Daddy the other day in my outside chair. I have my garage door open, and I had a blanket on because the mosquitoes were just awful.
They're
and I'm
so
just
bad.
floating, reading Corn Daddy, laughing at Corn Daddy. Because, like,
So
how
bad.
do you not laugh at Corn Daddy?
Yes.
Making my notes, and then I give a whole presentation after I finished it to my partner, and he's just like, sick.
Cool.
Amazing. I love it.
Awesome.
Wait, we just want to say happy Pride.
Yes.
Be nice to each other. Love each other. It's 2024. Come the fuck on. You know?
Yes. Yes. Come the fuck on.
You know?
Yeah. If you queer, gay, all day, every day, it's fine.
Yeah.
And it's what it is. It is 2024, so
yeah.
Let's be aware of other people. Let's be kind. Let's not be a dick, please.
It takes half a second to treat someone with respect. You know what I mean? That's it. That's
all it is. Like, why would... I always think of it as, like, that energy's coming back to you, right? Like, I know that's... A lot of people don't believe it. But even if you believe in, like, whatever religion you follow, always comes back, like, everything comes back to you, right? So be kind to others, because then kindness comes to you, right? So put the vibes out in the world you want to come back. If you're giving negative energy out into the world, it's going to come back to you as negative energy. So, because let's do the laws of physics here for a second. energy is never lost. It's always transferred into different formats. You know, energy is always conserved. So whatever energy you're giving out, it will come back in some way to you.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's going to smack you in the face.
Yeah.
So let's be kind. Let's not be a dick, okay? Again, don't be a dick.
No.
Read what you want and don't be a dick. That's why we have our slogan. Read what you want, don't be a dick.
Read what you want, don't be a dick.
It's what we say because that's how it
Yeah.
should be.